Are you walking in a way that's slowly destroying your joints without you even realizing it? Right now, millions of seniors are making critical walking mistakes that are accelerating joint damage, causing unnecessary pain, and setting them up for mobility problems that could have been completely prevented. These aren't obvious problems that people notice immediately. They're subtle errors in walking technique that feel completely normal, but create devastating long-term consequences for your hips, knees, ankles, and spine. In the next 17 minutes, you'll discover the 6 most dangerous walking mistakes that seniors make, and learn the simple corrections that can save your joints and prevent years of pain. The most destructive walking habit on this list looks completely normal and is done by 80% of people over 65, but it's causing irreversible joint damage every single day. These corrections don't require special equipment, expensive therapy, or months of training. They're simple adjustments you can make immediately that will start protecting your joints from the moment you implement them. Janet Stevens, a 68-year-old from Colorado, couldn't understand why her knee pain kept getting worse despite walking for exercise every day. After her physical therapist identified 3 critical walking mistakes Janet was making, she corrected them within 2 weeks, and her knee pain disappeared completely. Janet now walks pain-free and has more energy than she's had in years. Mistake 1. Shuffling your feet instead of lifting them. Why is shuffling your feet one of the fastest ways to destroy your joints? Shuffling has become epidemic among seniors, with many people developing this destructive pattern without realizing how much damage it's causing to their entire body. Mayo Clinic biomechanics and gait analysis research shows that shuffling creates abnormal stress patterns throughout the kinetic chain, forcing your hips, knees, and ankles to work in ways they weren't designed for. Dr. Michael Rodriguez from Mayo Clinic explains that when you shuffle, you're essentially dragging your feet along the ground instead of using the natural lifting and placement motion that your joints need for healthy function. This dragging motion creates friction and resistance that your hip flexors and knee joints must overcome with every step, leading to premature wear and dysfunction. The biomechanical consequences of shuffling extend far beyond simple joint wear and affect your entire musculoskeletal system. According to Mayo Clinic research, shuffling fundamentally alters your gait pattern, causing compensatory movements throughout your body that create problems in areas you might never connect to your walking style. Dr. Sarah Martinez from Mayo Clinic notes that shuffling leads to weakened hip flexor muscles, which are crucial for lifting your legs and maintaining proper walking mechanics. When these muscles weaken, other muscle groups must compensate, creating imbalances that lead to back pain, hip pain, and knee problems. Additionally, shuffling significantly increases your fall risk because your feet are more likely to catch on uneven surfaces, rugs, or small obstacles that you would normally clear with proper foot lifting. Raymond Palmer from Idaho eliminated his chronic hip pain by correcting his shuffling gait in just 3 weeks after his daughter noticed he was barely lifting his feet while walking. He had developed the shuffling pattern gradually over several years and didn't realize how dramatically it had changed his walking mechanics until he focused on lifting his feet properly. Practice lifting your feet at least 2 inches with each step, focusing on a deliberate heel-to-toe motion that engages your hip flexors and maintains proper joint mechanics. Start by practicing this technique for short distances, such as walking across your living room, paying attention to the feeling of lifting and placing each foot deliberately. Gradually increase the distance as the proper motion becomes more natural, and make this conscious lifting a part of every step you take throughout the day. Check your walking pattern regularly by looking down occasionally to ensure your feet are clearing the ground properly, and ask family members to observe your walking and remind you if you start shuffling again. Stop shuffling today before you damage your joints permanently. Mistake 2. Looking down while walking. How is looking at the ground destroying your spine and balance? The habit of looking down while walking has become increasingly common among seniors, often developing as a response to balance concerns or fear of tripping. But this seemingly protective behavior actually creates far more problems than it solves. Johns Hopkins posture and spinal health studies demonstrate that consistently looking down while walking creates a forward head posture that places enormous stress on your cervical spine and disrupts your body's natural balance mechanisms. Dr. Jennifer Walsh from Johns Hopkins explains that when you look down, you're forcing your neck into an unnatural position that creates a cascade of problems throughout your entire spine. This forward head posture puts excessive strain on the muscles and ligaments of your neck and upper back, leading to chronic pain and stiffness that many people don't realize is connected to their walking habits. The neurological implications of looking down while walking are equally concerning and affect your body's ability to maintain balance and spatial awareness. According to Johns Hopkins research, your visual system plays a crucial role in balance and coordination, and when you look down, you're depriving your brain of the visual information it needs to maintain proper posture and prevent falls. Dr. Kevin Park from Johns Hopkins notes that looking ahead while walking helps your brain anticipate changes in terrain and adjust your gait accordingly, while looking down actually impairs this predictive ability and makes you more likely to stumble or fall. The forward head posture also affects your inner ear's balance organs, making it harder for your body to detect and correct balance problems before they become falls. Carol Robinson from Maine corrected her chronic neck problems and improved her balance significantly by changing where she looked while walking. She'd been looking down for years due to fear of tripping, but once she learned to look ahead, her neck pain disappeared and she felt much more confident while walking. Keep your eyes focused 10-15 feet ahead while walking, allowing your peripheral vision to monitor the ground immediately in front of you for obstacles. Practice this technique by picking a point ahead of you and walking toward it while maintaining that focus, letting your peripheral vision handle immediate ground hazards. Start in familiar, safe environments like your home or a well-maintained sidewalk, gradually building confidence in your ability to walk safely while looking ahead. Train yourself to only glance down briefly when absolutely necessary, then immediately return your gaze to the forward position. Lift your head today because your spine depends on it. Mistake 3. Taking steps that are too long. Why are long strides actually damaging your hips and knees? Many seniors believe that taking longer steps will make them more efficient walkers or help them cover ground faster. But this misconception is leading to serious joint damage that accumulates over time. Harvard Medical School joint mechanics research shows that overstriding creates excessive impact forces that travel through your entire kinetic chain, placing dangerous stress on your hips, knees, and ankles with every step. Dr. Elizabeth Moore from Harvard explains that when you take steps that are too long, you're forcing your joints to absorb impact forces they weren't designed to handle, particularly the knee joint, which bears the brunt of this excessive stress. The longer your stride, the harder your foot hits the ground and the more shock your joints must absorb. The long-term consequences of overstriding include accelerated cartilage breakdown and increased risk of developing arthritis in multiple joints. Harvard Medical School research demonstrates that the repetitive high-impact forces from overstriding cause microscopic damage to joint cartilage that accumulates over time, leading to pain, stiffness, and reduced mobility. Dr. James Clark from Harvard notes that overstriding also forces your muscles to work harder to stabilize your joints during each step, leading to muscle fatigue and increased risk of injury. The excessive reach required for long strides also creates imbalances in your gait pattern, causing some muscles to overwork, while others become weak and inactive. This creates a cycle of dysfunction that affects your entire lower body and can lead to chronic pain and mobility problems. Arthur Martinez from Nevada reduced his knee pain by 70% simply by shortening his stride length after his physical therapist explained how his long strides were creating excessive stress on his knee joints. He had been taking steps that were nearly twice as long as optimal, thinking it would help him walk faster and more efficiently. Take shorter, more frequent steps that feel natural and comfortable, aiming for a stride length that allows your foot to land directly under your body rather than far ahead of it. Practice this by walking at a comfortable pace and focusing on quick, light steps rather than long, reaching strides. Count your steps over a known distance and aim to increase the number of steps while covering the same ground, which indicates you're shortening your stride appropriately. Pay attention to how your knees and hips feel with shorter steps. You should notice less impact and stress on your joints immediately. Shorten your steps now before you wear out your joints. Mistake 4. Walking with your feet turned outward. How is duck-footed walking silently destroying your ankles and knees? Walking with your feet turned outward, often called duck-footed walking, has become increasingly common among seniors and creates serious biomechanical problems that affect multiple joints simultaneously. American Physical Therapy Association gait analysis findings show that outward foot positioning creates abnormal rotation patterns throughout your lower extremities, forcing your ankles, knees, and hips to function outside their optimal alignment. Dr. Michelle Torres from the American Physical Therapy Association explains that when your feet point outward, your entire kinetic chain must compensate for this misalignment, creating stress patterns that lead to joint wear and instability. This seemingly minor change in foot position actually affects how forces travel through your entire body with every step you take. The biomechanical consequences of duck-footed walking extend far beyond simple foot positioning and create problems that many people never connect to their walking style. According to American Physical Therapy Association research, outward foot positioning reduces the stability of your ankle joint and creates abnormal stress on your knee ligaments, particularly the structures that prevent your knee from rotating excessively. Dr. Christopher Lee from the association notes that duck-footed walking also affects your hip function, forcing the muscles around your hips to work harder to maintain stability during each step. This increased workload leads to muscle fatigue and imbalances that can cause hip pain and reduced mobility over time. The altered foot position also affects your push-off power during walking, making you less efficient and requiring more energy to cover the same distance. Sophia Williams from Wisconsin eliminated her chronic ankle pain and improved her knee stability by correcting her foot positioning after years of walking with her feet turned outward. She had developed the duck-footed pattern gradually and didn't realize how much it was affecting her joint health until she focused on walking with proper foot alignment. Practice walking with your feet pointing straight ahead, imagining that you're walking along two parallel lines with each foot following its own line. Start by practicing this technique for short distances, checking your foot position regularly and making conscious corrections when you notice your feet turning outward. Use the edges of sidewalk sections or floor tiles as guides to help you maintain proper foot alignment during practice sessions. Focus on pointing your toes in the direction you're traveling and engage your hip muscles to help maintain this alignment throughout your stride. Straighten your feet today because your joints can't handle this stress much longer. Mistake 5. Heel striking too hard. Why is pounding your heels destroying your entire body? Hard heel striking has become a widespread problem among seniors, creating shock waves that travel through the entire skeletal system and cause damage far beyond the point of impact. Mayo Clinic Impact Force and Joint Health research shows that excessive heel striking creates forces that can be 3 to 4 times your body weight, sending destructive vibrations through your ankles, knees, hips, and spine with every step. Dr. Linda Rodriguez from Mayo Clinic explains that when you pound your heels into the ground, you're essentially creating a series of mini impacts that your joints must absorb thousands of times per day. This repetitive trauma accumulates over time, leading to joint inflammation, cartilage damage, and chronic pain throughout your body. The systemic effects of hard heel striking reach far beyond the obvious impact points and create problems that many people never associate with their walking style. According to Mayo Clinic research, the shock waves from hard heel strikes travel up through your entire skeletal system, affecting your spine and even your jaw and head. Dr. Kevin Hall from Mayo Clinic notes that these impact forces can contribute to lower back pain, neck stiffness, and even headaches in some people. The jarring motion also affects your body's natural shock absorption systems, causing muscles and joints to tense up in anticipation of impact, which creates additional stress and reduces walking efficiency. Over time, this pattern of hard impact can lead to stress fractures, joint degeneration, and chronic pain conditions that significantly impact quality of life. Eugene Jackson from Texas eliminated his chronic back pain by learning to walk more softly after his chiropractor explained how his heavy heel strikes were sending shockwaves through his spine. He had been walking with hard, heavy steps for years without realizing the connection between his walking style and his back problems. Land softly on your heels and roll through to your toes, focusing on a gentle heel-to-toe motion that minimizes impact forces throughout your body. Practice this technique by walking as quietly as possible, paying attention to the sound your feet make, and working to reduce any loud or jarring sounds. Imagine that you're walking on thin ice or trying not to wake someone sleeping, which naturally encourages a softer landing pattern. Focus on rolling through each step smoothly from heel to toe, rather than abruptly shifting your weight, and engage your calf muscles to help control the descent of your foot. Walk softer starting today because your joints are begging for relief. Mistake 6. Walking without proper arm movement. How are stiff arms while walking creating problems throughout your body? Many seniors develop restricted arm movement while walking, either keeping their arms rigidly at their sides or barely moving them at all, not realizing that proper arm swing is crucial for efficient and safe walking. Johns Hopkins biomechanics and movement efficiency studies show that natural arm movement provides essential balance, reduces energy expenditure, and helps coordinate the complex movements involved in walking. Dr. Amanda Foster from Johns Hopkins explains that your arms act as natural counterbalances to your leg movements, helping to maintain stability and reduce the workload on your core muscles. When you walk with stiff or immobile arms, you're forcing other parts of your body to work harder to maintain balance and coordination. The physiological importance of proper arm swing during walking extends to multiple body systems and affects both your safety and walking efficiency. According to Johns Hopkins research, natural arm movement helps regulate your walking rhythm and provides proprioceptive feedback that helps your brain coordinate complex movement patterns. Dr. Robert Kim from Johns Hopkins notes that restricted arm movement significantly increases your fall risk because you lose an important source of balance feedback and recovery assistance. When you start to lose your balance, your arms naturally move to help you recover, but if you've trained yourself to keep your arms still while walking, this protective response is diminished. Additionally, walking without proper arm movement requires more energy and creates more stress on your back and core muscles, leading to faster fatigue and reduced walking endurance. Florence Garcia from Kansas improved her balance and walking endurance significantly by correcting her arm swing after years of walking with her arms held stiffly at her sides. She had developed the restricted arm movement pattern due to self-consciousness, but discovered that natural arm movement actually made her feel more confident and stable while walking. Let your arms swing naturally opposite to your leg movements, allowing them to move freely from your shoulders without forcing or restricting the motion. Practice this by walking with a deliberate focus on relaxed shoulders and arms, letting them swing naturally as you walk. Start by exaggerating the arm movement slightly to retrain your natural patterns, then allow it to settle into a comfortable, natural rhythm. Pay attention to how natural arm movement affects your balance and energy levels. You should notice improved stability and less fatigue almost immediately. Start swinging your arms properly today because your balance and energy depend on it. These 6 walking mistakes are silently damaging millions of senior joints every single day. But the good news is that every single one can be corrected starting today. Just like Janet, Raymond, Carol, Arthur, Sophia, Eugene, and Florence, you can transform your walking and protect your joints with these simple changes. The best part is that most people notice improvements in comfort and energy within days of making these corrections. These aren't temporary fixes that require ongoing therapy or expensive treatments. They're permanent improvements to your movement patterns that will protect your joints and enhance your mobility for years to come. If you know someone who's experiencing joint pain or wants to protect their joints while walking, please share this video with them right now because these simple corrections could save them years of pain and mobility problems. Which of these walking mistakes do you think you might be making? Let me know in the comments below. And if this information helps you understand how to protect your joints while walking, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical tips that can keep you moving comfortably for years to come.